Hi folks, Travis Fox here with FoxOptic.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pulsar Trail series thermal rifle scopes. I've been messing with these for a little over a year now. I've been comparing them to some other brands, and ultimately I've come down to the conclusion that for the average hunting person, this system makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to go over the reasons why today. We're going to come out with some further videos in the future that are going to highlight more specifically details and functions on the unit, but today we're just going to talk about why ultimately I came to the conclusion that this is probably one of the highest value to cost thermals on the market. So on the Trail, for starters, we're gonna highlight on the build quality of the unit. One of the big things that I noticed right off the bat, and that has held true, is as we've done sale and messed with different units, that the quality is just outstanding. Out of the box, everything's always the same. The button pushes are always very reliable. The intuitiveness of the buttons, the button layout is very deliberate. You come in and you've got these little ridge ranges, so as you're sitting there across the scope or what have you, it's really easy to find out where everything's at when you're out there in the dark. First button's got a little ridge raised around it, the next button squared off, you have another ridge raised to identify this reverse button, and so you know where you're at, essentially, to make a long story short. The eye relief on the unit I've found to be very good, recoil exceptional. The mount and the way that they've done the mount on the bottom, as far as having different mount spacings for, like in this case I'm running their QD mount. There's a lot of versatility in the mounting functionality. The battery options on this thing are one of the highest rated features that I would say that they've got going for them. They run this B-pack. The smaller one like this is a 10-hour. They've got one that's about 3/4 of an inch or so wider that is a 20-hour battery pack. And so you've got that. They're really easy to change out. The bayonet mount to hold the waterproof integrity of the unit, which is another thing. Go back to the quality for just a second. Only unit on the market that I know of, in a design like this with full onboard video and the whole 9 yards, that touts full waterproof rating. So you've got that battery pack in combination with the ability to do micro USB power off of this port over here. So if you think you're going to need really long run times, that's always an option. Another thing that I've found, and I've tested this, is with the B-pack out of position, still running off of the micro USB power source, you're still going to get power to the unit. So in the event, let's say that you had a failure on your B-pack, you need to run to a Walmart or someplace you're out, in a different state location on a trip, you could easily find a backup power supply for this thing until you got the B-pack, replaced, which, I think is pretty highly unlikely. Have been ultimately reliable, but there is definitely a level of redundancy there. The other thing you're going to find really handy, while they come, their battery system comes with a really nice little charger, USB charger. They include the cord, they include the wall adapter, everything for that unit. Another thing you're going to find out is the unit itself will charge the battery in position. So you can have the battery in position hooked to your stock mounted pouch, or be out in a rural location, have forgot your charger, and or have a failure in your charger, and you're still going to be able to charge via that port. So that's, I found that to be a very redundant, probably by far the most reliable power setup of any of the units I've seen. So that's a big deal. Again, we're going to touch on the button intuitiveness. I found the layout of the unit and the functionality of all the buttons and everything to be very deliberate, purposeful, and make a lot of sense to the average hunter. Let's start with the focus. The focal adjustments up here, but typically You're going to make that adjustment on anything past about 20 or 30 yards, and you're barely going to ever touch that knob again. The thing is just going to put out outstanding clarity. If you get a little closer than that, you might find yourself making some focal adjustments. One thing I will tell you on these units, repeatedly have shot over this unit, pretty heavy recoils, some AR-10s, what have you, shot after shot where a really heavy, not super heavy recoil, but relatively heavy recoil for the amount of shots. Like, we're talking 10, 20 shots as fast as I can pull the trigger. Never had this thing come out of focus. Can't say that about every unit I've tried. So let's go down the buttons just real quick. Again, I'll touch on all this stuff in a future video. But the first button here is going to give you your palette inversion, so a quick tap on that button is going to take you from black hot to white hot. A long depress on that is going to stop your Wi-Fi. The little square button is your menu button, so a short tap on that is going to open your right hand function menu, which is you're going to find brightness, contrast, the stadiometric rangefinder, and the ability to zoom to specific powers. So we'll touch on that a little bit here later on, but normally you're going to tap zoom, but this would allow you to smooth zoom. Then a long press on that is going to open up your main menu functions, where you're going to get your zeroing process, system information, like your full-blown operational menu. Come into this button here. This is going to be your power button, so a short tap on that is going to perform a zoom function. So like typically, this is an XP50 unit, it's going to be at 1.6 magnification. Tap on that's going to double you to 3.2, another one 6.4, another one 12.8, and then another one is going to bring you right back down to 1.6 if you're in the main menu. A long press on that is going to bring your PIP function up, and then your taps are going to only change magnification in the PIP window. So I haven't touched on the PIP, but that's another really big feature to the Pulsar units. It allows you to have a really wide field of view coupled up with a high relationship of aiming magnification to your target. So like when you say you get 2 coyotes out there, you want to take a really precise shot on that first one, you use the PIP. I typically, like on the trail, I like to run mine at 6.4 on the PIP inset and 1.6 on my main screen, so that's giving me a really wide field of view coupled up with really precise shot placement. I take that first shot using the PIP, let your eye just fall down to the main screen, you got that big wide field of view to start tracking your second target with. So that is a really slick feature. Again, the button layout allows you to manipulate those functions that you'll find yourself using a lot in hunting situations quick. The rear button is going to toggle you between, long presses are going to toggle you between image capture, video, and the recoil activated video. Your short presses are going to be your performance function. So like, let's say you're in video function, you want to start record, a short tap is going to start record, a short tap is going to pause it, a short tap is going to start it again, a long tap is going to shut it off. So pretty deliberate, really well laid out. Definitely a big fan of the Pulsar units. If there's anything I can do for you, feel free to give me a call, toll free 877-806-2977, or check us out on the web, www.foxoptic.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.